Point 1. Unlikely friendship and Rule and Ted Bundy. Have you ever wondered how well you truly know your friends? What secrets they might be hiding? This was a question that haunted Rule, a former police officer turned crime writer, who found herself in a unique and chilling friendship with none other than Ted Bundy, one of America's most notorious serial killers. Their unlikely meeting took place in the late 1970s at a crisis hotline center in Seattle. The irony of this setting is not lost on us. Bundy, a man who would later be revealed as a monster, was volunteering at a place designed to help those in distress. It was here that Rule and Bundy formed an initial bond, built on mutual respect and trust, a bond that would only grow stronger over the years. As their friendship evolved, so did the complexity of their relationship. Rule, a woman dedicated to law enforcement and justice, found herself drawn to Bundy, a man whose charm and charisma were as captivating as they were deceptive. This raises a chilling question: can we ever truly know someone? Bundy's charm was not just a personality trait, it was a weapon. His charisma and good looks allowed him to manipulate those around him, making it difficult for anyone, including Rule, to believe the horrific accusations that would later surface. Bundy was not just a friend to Rule, he was a confidant, a trusted ally, and the thought of him being a cold-blooded killer was almost inconceivable. When faced with the reality of Bundy's crimes, Rule found herself in a state of internal conflict. The man she knew and the man the world was accusing were two entirely different people. This struggle to reconcile the two was not just a personal battle, but a psychological one. The impact of Bundy's actions on Rule was profound, forcing her to question everything she thought she knew about her friend. In the end, the friendship between Rule and Bundy serves as a chilling reminder of the complexity of human relationships and the difficulty of truly knowing someone. It forces us to question our own perceptions of those around us and the secrets they may be hiding. After all, if Rule, a seasoned crime writer and former police officer, could be deceived by Ted Bundy, what does that say about our own ability to judge character? Point 2. Bundy's first victims, a look into the start of his killing spree. In the quiet, unsuspecting neighborhoods of the Pacific Northwest, a sinister shadow began to cast its pall in the early 1970s. A charming, seemingly ordinary young man named Ted Bundy embarked on a horrifying journey that would leave a trail of victims and a nation in shock. This article will delve into the chilling beginnings of Bundy's killing spree, focusing on his first victims and the deceptive charm that allowed him to evade suspicion for so long. Bundy's first victims were young, vibrant women, full of life and potential. They were students, daughters, friends, and lovers, their lives abruptly and brutally cut short. Their disappearances were sudden, leaving their loved ones and communities in a state of fear and confusion. The identities of these women, when finally revealed, sent shockwaves through the public. They were Karen Sparks, Linda Ann Healy, Donna Gail Manson, and Susan Elaine Rancourt, among others. Their tragic fate was the beginning of a nightmare that would span several years and claim many more lives. The start of Bundy's killing spree was marked by a chilling brutality that contrasted starkly with his outwardly normal demeanor. He was methodical, cunning, and ruthless, his crimes escalating in violence as he honed his murderous skills. His modus operandi during this period was chillingly simple: he would approach his victims in public places, feigning injury or asking for help, before overpowering them and taking them to a secluded location. Despite the heinous nature of his crimes, Bundy managed to avoid detection for a significant period. His charm, intelligence, and manipulative skills allowed him to blend into society, presenting himself as a regular, charming individual. This facade played a significant role in his ability to evade suspicion and continue his killing spree. Bundy was a master of deception, able to convince those around him of his innocence even as he committed unspeakable acts of violence. The challenges faced by law enforcement in identifying Bundy as a suspect highlight the complexity of the investigation. Bundy's ability to change his appearance and his modus operandi, coupled with his charm and manipulative skills, made it difficult for investigators to connect the dots. It was a chilling reminder of the difficulties in identifying and apprehending serial killers like Bundy. In conclusion, the start of Bundy's killing spree, marked by the brutal murders of his first victims, paints a chilling picture of a man who was able to hide his monstrous nature behind a mask of charm and normalcy. The duality of Bundy's personality, the charming man and the ruthless killer, is a horrifying reminder of the depths of human depravity. It underscores the challenges faced by law enforcement in identifying and apprehending serial killers and the tragic consequences of their actions. Point 3. The dual life of Ted Bundy, law student and serial killer. Have you ever wondered how a charismatic, intelligent individual could lead a dual life as a serial killer? This is the chilling reality we confront in The Stranger Beside Me, the shocking true story of serial killer Ted Bundy. In one life, he was a popular law student, known for his charm and intelligence. He was the kind of person who could easily win over anyone he met. His peers admired him, his professors respected him, and he had a promising future ahead of him. He was the kind of person you'd want to be friends with, the kind of person you'd trust. But beneath this charming exterior lurked a dark secret. This law student was also a ruthless serial killer. He committed horrifying crimes, showing no remorse for his actions. His victims were young women who were deceived by his charm and fell into his deadly trap. The stark contrast between his public persona and his secret life is truly shocking. His charm and intelligence were not just assets in his public life, but also tools for manipulation in his secret life. He used these traits to gain the trust of his victims, to lure them into a false sense of security before he struck. He was a master manipulator, able to deceive even those who knew him well. One of those he manipulated was Rule, a seasoned crime reporter and a close friend of his. Despite her experience with crime and criminals, she was taken in by his charm. She trusted him, believed in him, and even defended him when he was first accused. It was only when the overwhelming evidence against him came to light that she was forced to confront the horrifying truth. The shocking contrast between Bundy's public persona and his secret life as a serial killer forces us to confront a terrifying reality. That a serial killer could be hiding behind a seemingly normal and charming exterior. That someone we know, someone we trust, could be capable of such horrifying crimes. In conclusion, The Stranger Beside Me presents a chilling portrait of a serial killer hiding in plain sight. It forces us to question our perceptions of people and the dangers of charm and intelligence when used for manipulation and deceit. It leaves us with a haunting question: how well do we really know the people around us? Point 4. Bundy's arrests and daring escapes, a comprehensive account. Ted Bundy, a name that sends chills down the spine of anyone familiar with his gruesome crimes, was not just a serial killer. He was a master manipulator, a charmer, and a man who used his intelligence to exploit the legal system to his advantage. The shocking nature of his crimes was only matched by his audacious escapes and the disbelief of those who thought they knew him, including Rule, the author of The Stranger Beside Me. Bundy's initial arrest was a shock to everyone who knew him. He was a law student, a volunteer at a suicide hotline, and a seemingly normal individual. His arrest for suspicion of burglary and the subsequent discovery of items linking him to several missing women was a jolt to his friends and acquaintances. Bundy, however, used his charm and intelligence to manipulate the legal system, maintaining his innocence and even representing himself in court. The audacity of Bundy's escapes from custody further amplified the shock and disbelief. His first escape, from a courthouse library in Aspen, showcased his cunning and resourcefulness. He jumped from a second-story window and disappeared into the wilderness, evading capture for 6 days. His second escape, from a Colorado jail, was even more audacious. He managed to squeeze through a hole in the ceiling of his cell and walk out of the jail unnoticed. These daring escapes not only boosted Bundy's reputation as a cunning criminal but also highlighted the loopholes in the legal system that he was able to exploit. Rule, who knew Bundy personally, was deeply affected by his arrests and escapes. As more evidence came to light linking Bundy to the horrific crimes, Rule found herself torn between the man she knew and the monster he was accused of being. This internal conflict is a recurring theme in The Stranger Beside Me, as Rule grapples with the shocking reality of Bundy's true nature. Bundy's ability to maintain a facade of innocence was a significant factor in his ability to evade capture and escape custody. He used his charm and intelligence to manipulate those around him, convincing many of his innocence despite mounting evidence. However, this facade eventually crumbled as the evidence against him became overwhelming, leading to his final arrest and subsequent execution. In conclusion, Ted Bundy was not just a serial killer. He was a master manipulator who used his charm and intelligence to exploit the legal system and maintain a facade of innocence. His audacious escapes from custody shocked the nation and highlighted the loopholes in the legal system. The unique perspective provided by Rule, who knew Bundy personally, adds a layer of complexity to the shocking story of Ted Bundy, a man who was able to hide his monstrous nature behind a mask of normalcy. Point 5. Bundy's trial, a self-defense and execution story. In the annals of American crime, few figures are as chilling or as fascinating as Ted Bundy. His decision to represent himself in court, a move that would be unthinkable for most defendants, was a testament to his audacious confidence and intelligence. Bundy, with his boyish charm and law school education, believed he could outsmart the legal system. His self-representation was a bold, if not reckless, gamble that reflected his manipulative nature and his belief in his own invincibility. The trial itself was a spectacle. Bundy, acting as his own defense attorney, cross-examined witnesses, challenged the prosecution, and presented his own version of events. The evidence against him was overwhelming: physical evidence linking him to the crime scenes, witness testimonies placing him at the locations of the abductions, and the sheer number of victims. Yet, Bundy remained unflappable, even arrogant, throughout the proceedings. His behavior during the trial was a study in psychopathy. He was charming, charismatic, and seemingly devoid of remorse. He manipulated the courtroom with his theatrics, playing to the gallery, and even proposing to a witness on the stand. His lack of empathy and his ability to deceive were on full display, providing a chilling glimpse into the mind of a serial killer. Anne Rule, who knew Bundy personally and wrote The Stranger Beside Me, struggled to reconcile the man she thought she knew with the monster he was revealed to be. This struggle, a central theme in the book, underscores the betrayal she felt as she grappled with the reality of Bundy's horrific crimes. It's a stark reminder of how Bundy's charm and manipulative nature allowed him to hide in plain sight. Bundy's execution, while a grim reminder of his heinous crimes, provided some measure of closure for the victims and their families. It was the final act in a macabre drama that had captivated the nation. Yet, it also served as a stark reminder of the consequences of Bundy's actions and the lives he had so callously taken. In the end, Bundy's trial and execution offer a chilling insight into the mind of a serial killer. His audacious decision to represent himself, his manipulative behavior during the trial, and his lack of remorse all paint a picture of a man who is both terrifying and fascinating. It's a story that continues to captivate and horrify, a testament to the dark side of human nature. Point 6. Reflecting on Bundy, a tale of betrayal and impact. In the realm of true crime, few stories are as chilling as that of Ted Bundy, the notorious serial killer who terrorized America in the 1970s. But what sets The Stranger Beside Me apart from other accounts is the unique perspective of its author, Anne Rule, who is not only a crime writer but also a friend of Bundy. This personal connection lends a depth of emotion and complexity to the narrative that is both fascinating and horrifying. Rule's friendship with Bundy was characterized by his charm and charisma, traits that made it difficult for her to reconcile the man she knew with the monster he was revealed to be. Bundy was a master of deception, able to hide his dark side even from those closest to him. Rule recounts instances where Bundy's charm was on full display, such as when he would help her carry her groceries or offer a comforting shoulder during tough times. These personal anecdotes serve as stark reminders of Bundy's dual nature and his ability to manipulate those around him. The revelation of Bundy's true nature was a shock to Rule, leading to feelings of profound betrayal. This betrayal was twofold: personal, as she grappled with the reality that her friend was a serial killer, and professional, as she questioned her own judgment as a crime writer. The emotional turmoil Rule experienced is palpable in her writing, as she wrestles with guilt, confusion, and a sense of loss. In an attempt to make sense of Bundy's actions, Rule delves into his background and upbringing. She explores his troubled childhood, his struggles with identity, and his failed relationships, seeking clues to his motivations. Yet, even as she uncovers these details, the complexity of Bundy's psyche remains elusive. The challenge of understanding why Bundy committed such heinous acts is a recurring theme in Rule's narrative, highlighting the enigma that is the mind of a serial killer. Bundy's crimes had a profound impact, both immediate and lasting. The devastation experienced by his victims' families is heartbreakingly portrayed through Rule's observations and interactions. Beyond the personal tragedies, Bundy's actions also had a broader societal impact. They shattered the illusion of safety, leading to a shift in public perceptions of trust and security. Even today, the legacy of Bundy's crimes lingers, influencing how we view and respond to violent crime. In conclusion, The Stranger Beside Me offers a unique and deeply personal insight into the life and crimes of Ted Bundy. Through her personal reflections, feelings of betrayal, attempts to understand Bundy's actions, and exploration of the impact of his crimes, Rule provides a haunting portrait of a man who is both a friend and a monster. This narrative serves as a stark reminder of the complexity of human nature and the enduring impact of violent crime. Point 7. Conclusion. The human mind is a complex entity, capable of both great kindness and unimaginable cruelty. The story of Ted Bundy is a chilling reminder of this duality. It's crucial to remember that evil can exist in the most ordinary of people, hidden behind a charming facade. The tale also underscores the importance of vigilance and intuition. Often, the signs of danger are subtle and easily overlooked. Trusting one's instincts can be a powerful tool in recognizing and avoiding potential threats. Bundy's story is a stark reminder of the importance of justice and the relentless pursuit of truth. It is a testament to the tireless efforts of law enforcement and the judicial system, who work tirelessly to ensure that such individuals are brought to account for their actions. In the end, the story of Ted Bundy serves as a grim reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the human soul. It is a call to remain vigilant, to trust our instincts, and to never underestimate the capacity for evil that can exist in the most ordinary of people.